welcome to another show of Coast to Coast Outdoors. Today we have Chris Norrit, and he's going to be talking about a couple of events he went out to. We'll let him introduce himself, and he's going to talk about some outdoor stuff that I found pretty cool that he just did. So, Chris, go ahead and tell us about yourself.
All right. Well, my name's Chris Nero. I'm a Leo. I work at Koa Fitness. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not single, so, please don't send me your phone numbers. No, actually send me your phone numbers. I'm going to try to sell you a gym membership, actually. So please send me your contact information.
See that?
I work at Koa Fitness. We got 2 locations. I'm out on the Mountain View location more often than not. I do a lot of martial arts, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai. I also like to do outdoor stuff. More specifically, I just did the GoRuck Heavy, a 24-hour military-inspired event. I got my ass kicked pretty good on that.
So for those of you who don't know what GoRuck is, and what is GoRuck, and what do they do? More importantly, basically, what kind of events are we talking about, or
Yeah. So the GoRuck, the founder Jason, he just started making like backpacks or rucks. He was a Green Beret, so he wanted to make a bomb-proof, or bomb-proof ruck that could survive special forces missions, basically. And then somehow he got the idea that he had to prove how good these rucks are, so he created what was called the GoRuck Challenge, a 12-hour event in which he just grabbed civilians and said, put my backpack on, throw bricks in there, and I'm going to kick your ass for 12 hours. Somehow people paid him to do it, and somehow more people paid him to do it. So he started to do, you have the GoRuck Light. It's a 6-hour event. It's the fun one. You still get smoked pretty bad. The 12-hour event, I think, is the more popular one. That usually runs like from 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. until 6 or 8 a.m. in the morning. And then you have the GoRuck Heavy, which is 24 hours. And that one is tough. It's cool though, because one of their mottos is building better Americans. So it's not an individual event. You're with the group, or you're with the team, and you have to come together. I mean, these people, I don't know most of those people out of the 31 people that were there, I only knew 3. No, maybe 4. So I had to very quickly get to know everyone else and work together with them.
So it's just a group of people coming together to build a team, and through that team you work together to kind of get through each obstacle and through each event. So you got events throughout the day, or you got assigned things that the cadre does that they have planned out for you, but you don't know what they are. You just you're going with the program.
Exactly.
So
yeah, I mean, they'll kind of give you like you're gonna ruck, you're gonna march a lot. I think we covered in 24 hours, probably just shy of 40 miles.
40 miles.
On top of all the PT that we had to do. And generally, since it's in San Francisco, you're going to get thrown in the ocean at one point. So, that was probably that's the hardest part for me. So mentally preparing for that was tough. I don't do so well in cold.
Yeah. Cold water is not my friend either. I like warm water. So,
yeah.
So this is kind of like an indoctrination thing. So this is kind of what Special Forces or just any of the services do. They go out and do an indoctrination through different events. Kind of the Marine Corps one that I tried out for was you do like a 3-story jump into the deep end of the water. Then you tread in water for like 30 minutes, and they're pulling you down. You're doing underwater. You got to swim the Olympic-sized pool underwater. All kinds of events, and then you have a 3-mile ruck, and that's just to get into the school. This is back in the day. So when I hear stuff like this, it brings back memories. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I'd like to hear more of that stuff. So the whole water thing, I'm not. water's water, but cold water's cold. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but so this event this last weekend, how did it go? What kind of things, or what was most challenging for you? What was the best part of it? Kind of run through some of that stuff.
Let's see here. That's tough. The most challenging off the bat is the ocean, the cold water. I did this event in June of last year, and about 14 hours in, we got thrown in the ocean, and I got med dropped because I got a pretty bad case of hypothermia.
Mm-hmm.
So going in, I knew this was going to be really tough, the cold water. So I was a little more prepared mentally and physically for this. But I made that through. I didn't get hypothermia or nothing like that, luckily. So that was probably the toughest part for me personally. I mean, the whole event was just awesome. I mean, yeah, you're carrying a lot of weight. You're getting your butt kicked the whole time, but it's just, it teaches you, to find kind of the fun in the small things. Like when you're doing 1,000 push-ups and I'm laying on the ground and there's rocks in my face, I'm just like, this is so comfortable. I'm looking to the guy to the left of me and I'm like, dude, aren't these rocks like the most comfortable rocks you've ever had on your face? And he's looking at me and he's like, yeah, you're right. You're just laughing.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. Or we're in some like grass and you're on the ground and and you're resting your head and you can smell like all like the dog piss and cat piss and you're just like, I don't care. This is comfortable. I love this.
You're laying down. The positive is that you're on the floor laying down and you're not running or carrying 30, 40 pounds on your back. So you're just kind of like, well, I'll take this over running up a hill or being in the ocean. Yeah. So you got to find the positive in the negative. So it sounds like they have like medical people on standby also to help everybody out. So it's not like it's, so they're out there to take care of you. They're not out there to hurt you. They're out there to make sure that you're having a good time and still, taking care of you physically and mentally. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, the number one thing for them is it's safety. I disclosed to them, hey, I got hypothermic before. So they were watching out for me. They actually pulled me out of the water. They made everyone go back in one more time, but they made me stay out and they made me do like jumping jacks and PT to stay warm. I guess I didn't respond fast enough or something like that. So they take care of everyone. Someone fell down, they twisted their ankle or something, they weren't like, you got to get back up and keep going. They assessed the person, made sure they were good to go before, that we moved on as a group.
Oh, okay. So that's good.
Yeah. So yeah, it sounds crazy. They're definitely crazy. I mean, you're lifting like a 100-pound log above your head, and sometimes someone messes up in it.
Tell us about this log.
The log. Which log? There was, I think, 3 logs at one point.
Well, let's start off with the easiest one and then work ourselves up.
The easiest one. I think the easiest one weighed about 60 pounds. One person could carry it. The problem, though, is the person who was carrying the log is there was, extra behind them. So I was the guy right behind that. So I was practicing my boxing, like head movements. Because, they would move and then the log would come by and you're like, oh, got to go under. Or like they would stop and it would almost hit you in your face and you have to turn real fast. That was pretty fun. And these are all logs of motivation. It was not, we were just not moving fast enough. So the cadre gave us this gift. He said, here's a log. It's going to motivate you to go faster. Yes. The other one, I don't even know how much. The next one weighed like 100-something pounds. And when you were on it, it just sucks because you had to have it like on your shoulder. There's no good. And you have your backpack, which weighs 40 pounds too at all times. So you can't if it was just the log, you could hold it up with your arm and walk around, no problem. But with the backpack and the log and, 14 hours in of no food or anything, you're just sucking. Yeah. And then when you had to stop and you had to hold it, above your head like this, you've already done so much, your shoulders are dying. That was probably the second hardest part for me. Was anything overhead press? Like my shoulders were done. So I was like shaking, like, and then like my teammates are like, come on. I'm like, fuck, and you get it up and you lock your elbows out and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. But then what happens next? The cadre goes, hey, you have to push it down and up it one more time. And you're like, oh,
this is horrible.
This is horrible.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, sometimes it sucks. Sometimes in the moment you're like, I don't want to do this. But in the end, I'm so happy, like I did it.
Yeah.
A little bragging rights.
Nice. So what kind of preparation did you do to kind of prepare yourself for all this stuff? You had to go do something.
Yeah. No, I did a lot. So in the beginning, let's see here, I gave myself about 3 months to prepare for this event. The first month was just kind of getting muscle endurance up. So lifting a lot of weights, light weights, but just kind of getting the muscle stamina up, going on some, weekend rucks. I would go to Mission Peak. It's out in Newark or Fremont. It's a 2-mile climb. 2 miles, you gain 2,000 feet of elevation. I would go up that as fast as I could and come back down and then call that a day. And then the last 8 weeks, I would do what's called the 5x5. So you do squats, bench press, and then a row, and then you would do squats, overhead press, and deadlift. You alternate. You do it 3 times a week. That's to build up the strength. And then my buddy and I would go out to Coyote Hills and ruck anywhere between 10 to 15 miles. I would start putting about 80 pounds in my backpack, and then we would find driftwood and carry driftwood for a few miles. And it was not the ideal way to spend a Saturday morning, but it just gets you mentally and physically tough. So when you're at the event, you can't prepare for 24 hours. I mean, that's almost impossible to do, right? But I came in there really fresh, and I felt really strong, and just coasted through. I mean, not coasted, but eventually the body breaks down. But I was just really glad I had that initial energy boost.
You could last longer. Basically, is you could, instead of lasting only for 6 hours, you're lasting for 12 hours, and that cuts the time. Instead of 18 hours of just being horrible, now you're only 12 hours, and you're like, well, it's already halfway there, so you might as well stay there. So
exactly. Yeah, I mean, and the other thing too that the training does, it's kind of, I mean, I think because I do martial arts training, it's a little bit easier for me to prepare mentally. But I was talking with my buddy, and we were talking about stamina versus conditioning. And you have some guy who's a triathlete who can do running, swimming, and biking no problem. But you start throwing some shitty situations at them, okay, now you have to carry a log, now you have to low crawl, or you have to take your one shoe off or something like that, right? Then that becomes mental conditioning. You just have to be mentally tough. This sucks, but I'm going to keep going. And the training that we would do on the weekends would help a lot. I mean, it would be tough to be all right, bro, now we're going to take our shoe off, or okay, now I'm going to carry you up this hill. I don't want to do it, but you would tell ourselves we're going to do this. It's going to suck. And then when you go into the event, when you get in those type of situations, mentally you're already prepared.
Okay, sounds good.
And yeah, and there's a lot of people in the event too that different people had different physical levels, and you could tell that the guys who lasted were mentally tough. Everyone was physically broken at the end. The key to survival of this was being mentally tough. Just saying, I'm going to make it 1 more mile. I'm going to make it until the end of the block. I'm going to make it until I run out of water. And then, you get refilled on water. Then you're like, okay, I'm going to make it till I run out again or something like that.
Yeah. So the key is just to always keep moving, or always keep looking ahead of what you can possibly don't try to make it, don't try to think about it as, hey, I'm going to make it till the end. Why don't you just, on the short-term goals, hey, well, we get to this point. Well, okay, I made it this far. Might as well. All right, let's try it again. Let's keep doing it until you keep moving. And it's kind of mental, your mental stamina, I guess, is what you're trying to fix. So how does this, so you said you do martial arts, and how do you think that has helped you in the martial arts, or what kind of martial arts do you do? Let's start off there.
Right now I focus a lot on the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So grappling art, I'm sure if, anyone watching has heard of the Gracies or UFC, it's some people call it the hugging art, where you're rolling around on the ground with another guy.
Yeah.
It looks a little silly, but when you do it, it's actually not as silly.
Not as silly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at Gracie.
That's okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but how does the GoRuck stuff help the martial arts? It just makes you tougher. I mean,
Makes you tougher?
Makes you tougher. I mean, it makes you more tough. I don't know how to say it exactly. When you're doing jujitsu, you're going in to train. You're like, okay, I got 2 hours of class. Anyone can last 2 hours, no problem. You go to a competition, the match is like, in between 5 to 10 minutes, and maybe you have a couple matches throughout the day. So you're looking at like 30 minutes, 40 minutes of physical exertion, right? And sometimes you get caught up. You're like, oh man, 5 minutes is so long. I don't know if I'm going to last. And then I go, wait, no, I just did like a 24-hour event. 5 minutes is nothing. So, someone's trying to choke me or break my arm, but it changes your mindset. You're just like, 5 minutes is nothing now. And it just lets me train harder for those 5 minutes.
Another thing, What other places have you gone that you thought were pretty good for training, like around here in the Bay Area? So, that you thought, I know you said Coyote Hills is 2,000 feet up, going up.
Oh no, that's Mission Peak.
Mission Peak.
So there's Mission Peak. That's 2,000 feet of elevation gain if you start from the Stanford side. You can also go from the Ohlone College side, and that's not as steep, but the miles are a little bit longer. The Coyote Hills, that's out by the Dumbarton Bridge. That you can go, it's pretty flat for the most part. There's a couple hills, but you can find some really good pieces of driftwood and carry that. There's this other hike that I've done. It's out in San Ramon. I forget the name of the trail off the top of my head, but you can hike from San Ramon into Castro Valley if you know where that is at all. It's about 13 and a half mile hike. You gain 7,000 feet in elevation overall. The amount of elevation gain per mile is double that if you were to climb Mount Whitney.
Good Lord. So how did you find all these? How did you find all these places? I've grown up in the Bay Area. I've done a lot of these hikes when I was a kid, or shorter versions of them. And my buddy and I, we just go online. We just go to EB, the regional park website, and just find some trails, go on and from there you'll click on some forum and some guy will be like, oh, you gotta try this other hike. So we just go out and do it. Nice.
Here we go. The hike I did, you gain 7,060 feet of climbing and 13 and a half miles. That's 520 feet per mile. Mount Whitney is 323 feet per mile.
Oh, okay. So where can people find this information at if they're looking for it? What website?
Go to just go to the East Bay Regional Parks website, and you can find all that. I'll find a specific link to the one from San Ramon to Castro Valley, because you're on some I think East Bay mud land or something like that, so you have to get a permit, like a $5 permit for they last you the whole year to do that.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah, I'll send you all that information. I don't know off the top of my head, unfortunately.
Oh no, I just looked it up. I'll put it on there. EastBayParks.org is the one, and then the GoRuck is GoRuck.com, and then
GoRuck.com.
And then if you want to sign up for the gym and go where you work
Koa
at, it's
Fitness.
Koa Fitness.
Yeah, Koa Center.com.
So it's KOA Center.
KOA. No, KOA Fitness Center.com.
Oh, KOA Fitness Center.
Kind of long. Yeah.
So, I'll have that up in the description, and I'll put it up so people can find that. Who are the trainers that you have there?
The trainers that we have at this gym, the Mountain View gym, the head Muay Thai instructor, his name's On Fairtex. He's been fighting since age 6. He's had over 300 professional Muay Thai bouts. He's had a couple bestseller books on Amazon about Muay Thai. Real funny guy. You have to meet him and train with him in person to kind of understand who On is. I mean, I'm sure you know. Yeah. You look at him and you're like, okay, this guy, I don't know too much about this guy. Then you start to train with him and he's telling you to do 50 kicks on each side and he's just laughing at you like, he's hilarious. We have a new guy actually we just hired or he brought on. His name's Douglas Edwards. He's a professional fighter. He does our boxing and he's now in charge of our fight team training. So he shows everyone how to spar and how to fight and stuff like that. Real nice guy too. You know, a little more serious because he's in the fight game right now. So he you know, when he kind of tells you what to do, he kind of expects you to do it because he's like, yo, you know, he's looking, and you know, for him, I think it's a way for him to help train too. Because if he gets you to get up to a certain standard, then he can start working with you, and then that's going to help you and him. And then we have Diego Herzog. He's our head jiu-jitsu instructor over here. That guy's a legit jiu-jitsu competitor and instructor. I mean, you just look him up on like Gracie magazine, you're going to see a couple articles written on him. Every tournament, he just dominates. It's like without a doubt, you just watch him and you're like, all right, he's got it. I'm just going to go watch something else now. And you turn around and his arms raised and you're like, sweet. Yeah. He's a little serious sometimes. I know personally I'm a jokester and, I do quite a few push-ups in the class if I throw too many jokes out there. So
that's pretty good. So that's kind of the Mountain View location, and you guys have another location.
Yeah, we have another one out in Newark. We have Daniel Kim. He's the head Muay Thai guy out there right now. We have this other guy, we call him Pops. He's on the Guinness Book of World Records as the oldest boxing coach around. He's 70s or something like that. He trains like Cain Velasquez. He trains a whole bunch of like professional UFC fighters, but he comes to our gym and he teaches the boxing program for us, which is awesome. Another instructor we have is Mauricio Alonso. He's the head jiu-jitsu instructor over in Newark. He's another legit jiu-jitsu competitor. He's kind of a scary guy. He nice guy, but definitely when you see him in competition or when he's coaching us, he's scary. He starts to get like that weird English Portuguese blend of screaming and cussing at you, and you don't know if it's like good or bad. But yeah, he's a legend, you know, in jiu-jitsu. Like when he came up here, all these other Brazilian jiu-jitsu coaches would come up to him and be like, "Oh, dude, I didn't know you're in the States now." And he's like, "Yeah, I've killed everybody here." So yeah, it's great.
That's awesome.
You know, either gym, you just get like awesome instruction with people who are just high level practitioners. Yeah. You know, I mean, if you're dedicated and you're consistent, I mean, you're even if you haven't done anything before, you gain so much experience and so much knowledge. It's awesome. And yeah, I see that like all the time. Like some guy comes in, I've never trained before, but I want to fight. 6 months later, we got him in like, you know, some Muay Thai bout and he's like dominating. It's awesome.
Yeah. So that goes to show you the kind of caliber people you guys hire and kind of gym you guys are. Mm-hmm. So that's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, we tried to not have the Rex Kwon Do attitude over here.
I don't know that analogy, but I'll leave that one alone.
You haven't seen Napoleon Dynamite, Rex Kwon Do?
Oh, I haven't really. Not into that kind of movies.
Oh my gosh. You got YouTube Rex Kwon Do. It's just like a 5-minute clip. It's going to change your life.
I'm going to have to look that up as soon as you get off the air.
I'm not going to allow you to come back into the gym until you watch it, because I'm going to start to throw out some of the lines, and if you don't know how to respond, it's going to be like a challenge phrase. If you can't say the right part, I'm going to kick you out.
I'm gonna have to look this up.
You have to like Amazon, like you can Google like Rex Kwon Do pants and all that good stuff. It's a whole thing.
It looks like it. Are they on like inline skates and just kind of?
No inline skates. You got Rex REX Kwon KWON DO.
Oh, he's in the dojo right now, yelling at these kids.
Yeah.
Rex Kwon Do.
Yeah. Rex Kwon Do. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dear Lord. Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I'm going to
We're on
watch
the buddy
this.
system here. No more flying solo. Yeah, dude. That's awesome.
All right. All right, man. Well, it was good talking to you.
That was awesome.
It was awesome hearing about Go Ruck and stuff. And we'll put all the descriptions up, all the links to all the things we talked about today. It was awesome talking about that stuff and learning more about the Bay Area and what kind of stuff you can learn. I didn't know that you can change 7,000 feet in a couple miles. That's crazy. That'd be good training.
It's awesome training.
So, how are the views up there?
Oh, amazing. The Mission Peak, when you get to the top, you'll see San Jose, Milpitas. I mean, you'll see like all of Silicon Valley, on a clear day. It's awesome. The Coyote Hills, it's like kind of marshlands. The view isn't super awesome, but it's a great way to just kind of be outside and get some miles in.
Yeah.
The hike from the San Ramon to Castro Valley, there's hardly anyone on that trail. When I did it, there was nobody, and you're just out in like God's land. It's awesome. I mean, deer, rabbits. I guess there are some like we heard like a lot of coyotes. It's beautiful. You have to do it.
The coyotes would be after me. There's a lot of meat on my bones.
Yeah.
So
okay. Well, you'll be with me. We'll make it part of like our jiu-jitsu training. You can fight them off.
Yeah. I'll just sit on them. I'll crush them.
There you go.
Fat body. So, all right, man. It was good talking to you. I'll have all this going up. All the links will be on the description on YouTube, and then we'll put it on iTunes. I think it'll be on iTunes next day or two, or when people are hearing this, it'll be on there. So, all right, man. Well, thank you for coming on.
No, one more thing. If you're wondering, the Go Ruck event, what do you do it for? What do you get at the end? You get this. You get a little patch right here. This is all you get. But it's awesome. You can't buy these. You have to earn it.
Yeah.
So you gotta do it for the patch.
For the patch. Hey, at least you get a patch. What's that one? The Spartan race or whatever. You just get a headband.
The Spartan race.
You just get a headband.
No, that's the Tough Mudder.
Tough Mudder. Yeah.
You get a head. The Spartan race, they give you like a little medal and stuff. So
medals are overrated. Headbands, patches are cool.
Yeah, patches are cool. You put that, and then conveniently on the Go Ruck backpacks or the rucks, there's a little Velcro strip on the top, and you can put your patch on there.
Oh, look at that!
And let everyone know how badass you are. Yeah,
see that? That's awesome.
I would have brought my ruck, but it's covered in sand still. I still have to clean it off. So
what goes in the ruck?
Maybe this weekend I'll do it. Bricks.
So you have to
bricks? It has to be 35 pounds dry. So I put bricks. You can put like steel plates if you want. But I had to wrap up about 6 bricks. And then I put some other gear in there, some paracord and like a multi-tool and stuff just to be on the safe side in case something broke. But mainly bricks and water. Cool.
Is there anything else you want to tell anybody else or?
Not really. I mean, I think if anyone's interested in the Go Ruck or anything like that, and you're in the Bay Area, hit me up. I'm always down to train or go on a hike. I can always point people in the direction of other crazy people out there. There's a whole GoRuck community out in the Bay Area, and people are always training or hiking or doing something. So it's a great way to get active and just kind of explore your backyard.
All right. And the phone number for Gateway, the Mountain View location is?
Yeah, it's the Mountain View. Yeah.
What's that?
650. It's 650-386-5312.
All right, man.
Yeah.
So we'll talk to everybody on the next show. I think next week we have Chris from Havoc Off-Road coming on next week, I think Tuesday or Wednesday, so it'll be published on Wednesday or Thursday. And then we just got confirmation of something else, so we'll let everybody know about that stuff. So that's a pretty big event. So, all right, guys, We'll talk to you guys later. All right, bye.
All right.